Hi guys, your buddy Rorschach here. This is a little bit different, isn't it? I'm in Naivety in Wales, having a bit of a holiday. So I'm miles away from a comic book shop. So I haven't picked up my new books for this week. But I've got myself a copy of Mr. Miracle, the original here from Kirby. So I'll just go through the first story here for you. If you can hear me above the stream there. It's somewhat relaxing, I'll tell you. It's nice to have a break every now and then. Let's have a look at the original Mr. Miracle then from Jack Kirby. Just issue number 1 I'll go through. The introduction to the character. Cheats death. He defies man no trap can hold him. The new Mr. Miracle with our friend Tom CIA King. It's very cucky, isn't it? There's no cucking in issue number 1. That was a big bother. No cucking so far in issue number 1 of Mr. Miracle from our man Kirby. This is all about the old Mr. Miracle and the new Mr. Miracle. And no, not like present times. The old Mr. Miracle, whilst being a white man, is not replaced by a diversity character. In other words, a non-white man. It's replaced by another white man. Different times, more innocent times. There's a naivety about the story here, and a trusting nature which you just don't get in modern multicultural life, where nobody trusts anybody, and there's just a lack of trust permeating everything about the modern world. In this book here, it's about honour, it's about trust, and it's about respecting those who come before you. So, and it's very, very cheesy, it's very corny, but in that cheesiness, in that corniness, there is that trust at the core of the narrative. And honour. It's all about honour. Okay, so we begin with Mr. Miracle and his helper, Oberon, in the field, practicing one of their escapes here. And his helper's begging him, "Maestro, don't go through with this." And the audience is passing by. Just one man passing by. Let's give a flawless performance to that young onlooker. It's very strange, isn't it? Very, very strange. So Mr. Miracle, he's pretty much in a garden shed, which is locked up. There's his helper, flamethrower on. And the onlooker jumps over the fence. "What are you doing? Are you crazy?" And then Mr. Miracle breaks through and is very impressed. Of course, today, if this happens, two strange people in the field doing a escape artist routine to impress a young man. Yeah, it's different times, isn't it? Different times indeed. And this is the old Mr. Miracle, Thaddeus Brown. He's getting a bit slow. His reflexes have been dimmed a bit by age. Happens to us all. And from here, we have a gang of hoods, old-style hoodlums, popping up to mess with this old man. And the young man helps him. The young man, of course, being scot-free. And helping the elder gentleman. Respect. The older, newer generations respecting each other, honourable people. And here then is the bad guy, and the bad guy is pure Kirby's cheese. Absolutely hilarious. He's got a steel hand, he's evil, he's called Steel Hand. This makes me smile. You wouldn't get away with this kind of character nowadays, because it'd be too naff. In the naffness, there's the insecurity which breeds real life villainy. He's insecure about his position as a crime boss. Smashing steel with his steel hands. Twice. Smashing titanium with his steel hands. Here we go. Despite his arrogance, Steel Hand fears the loss of his status. Somehow Mr. Miracle is linked to that deep-rooted fear, and thus a brutal decision is made. Loss of status, it's something which is pretty much driving the entire Comicsgate thing at the moment. It's all about status. It's not about the comic book industry caring really about morality and doing the right thing. It's all about status, it's all about people keeping themselves in their position of power, or as gatekeepers to the industry. So here we have Steel Hand showing how evil he is with Steel Hand, and scot-free joining the older Mr. Miracle, Thaddeus Brown. Very trusting, very naive. Again, he wouldn't do this nowadays. But he's invited Scott to stay at his house. He's going, yeah, sure, I'll stay at your house. Not a problem, of course. You're obviously a good man. I can trust you. So you couldn't do that now. We have a bit of a backstory for the original Mr. Miracle. He's talking about a trap. And he's talking about a debt, or a bet that he had a long time ago with his Steel Hand. And here we have the new scot-free demonstrating his powers of escape, and there's a hint that he might have some sort of hidden powers here, but it's not explored fully in issue number 1. The hidden powers, of course, go are a reference to his past as an immortal god, as you know, the story with Highfather, Dark Side, all that kind of stuff. But it's not gone into a lot of detail here. It's just showing that this man has amazing powers. Here we go. So, the old Mr. Miracle, planning for a comeback, is practicing. And this escape is the one escape that none of us can escape from. Well, I say none of us. There was one man who could escape from it. The man's name is Jesus. And the trap that none of us can escape is the trap of death. So the old Mr. Miracle cannot escape death, and he dies. And here again we have scot-free and a teaser to get the taste buds, to whet the appetite of the reader. What's going on here? This man has strange, mysterious powers. Got to keep on reading this book to find out more about this man. He's obviously got some sort of super technology here. Where did he get it from? Now the old Mr. Miracle dies, and the new Mr. Miracle is starting to find his place in the world. And here we have Steel Hands. Demonstration his awesome powers by arm wrestling a giant robot. Again, the cheesiness, you couldn't do it nowadays, and it's just awesome to see this childlike naivety, trustingness, cheesiness, corniness. The good guys, they're so obviously good, the bad guys are so obviously bad. There's no blurring of the characters here, as you get in modern comics, where everything is relative. We'll leave it to the readers to decide. No, in life sometimes there are good guys and bad guys, and in the old Kirby books it's very clear as to who the good guys and who the bad guys are. He's a bad guy, he's got a steel hand, there's no blurring of anything here. Okay, so Mr. Miracle, being an honourable man, catches up with Steel Hand, the man responsible for the death of the old Mr. Miracle, and rather than just kick the crap out of him, he offers him a deal. If I get out of the trap he sets, I claim a written confession to the shooting. So the shooting, the original Mr. Miracle died. It's not about just grabbing him and, you know, enacting some sort of vigilante mob justice, violent revenge on him. He's going to do things the proper way. He's an honourable man, and the villain is not an honourable man, so he just whacks him over the head. This is the difference between good guys and bad guys. The good guys are honourable, they want to do the right thing, and the bad guys will break their words. Their word means nothing, whilst for the good guys, their word is their bond. So Steel Hand references the deal we had with the original Mr. Miracle. It was about a trap. The old Mr. Miracle was all about escaping traps. Steel Hand said he had a trap that he cannot escape from, and this is what he was devising for him before he decided that now I'm gonna not keep my word, because after all I'm a villain. So this is the trap, shooting Mr. Miracle into space. So the new Mr. Miracle is shot into space, blown up the missile, and Steel Hand is still top man. Remember that, you birds. This old language. Birds. So funny. Nothing can stop the Steel Hand. Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. But no, Mr. Miracle can escape this trap. And he comes back and delivers some justice on Steel Hand. All bets are off now. We gave you a chance, Steel Hand. We gave you a chance to be an honourable man. You're not an honourable man. So now we'll take you out. And in taking him out, the new Mr. Miracle demonstrates the awesome superhero powers that he's got, which include jets, hypersound intensifiers, and something called where is it here? Compact cocoon spinner, which is a bit Spider-Man-ish really. And he bungs a blanket over Steel Hand's head. Gives reaction. My Steel Hand is stunned, I can't get out of this. And that's the end of our filling the Steel Hand, and the cops turn up of course to take him away. And here we have the new team then. The assistants, Oberon, and the new Mr. Miracle. And thus concludes the opening acts of the original Mr. Miracle from Jack Kirby. Gloriously cheesy, so much fun, no blurring, like I said a minute ago, no sense of who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, but more than anything else, let's have a look at this again. No cooking. The old Scott Free is a young man trying to find his way in the world, and he's helped an old man, and they're helping the older man. He's found a way for himself in the world. He's found his own path. Not copying the old man. And he's got those powers that we demonstrated at the end of the book. So whilst he is taken from the legacy of Mr. Miracle, the old Mr. Miracle, he is very much his own new Mr. Miracle. So there's no diminishing of the past, there's an adding to it with a man taking a role now. And just a sense of respect, a sense of honour, sense of naivety, but a sense of dignity throughout from beginning to end. And above everything else, just fun. It's a fun comic book that can be read by adults and most importantly children. Children are the audience for comic books, and if children are not reading comic books, the comic books won't survive for much longer, which is what is happening today as kids turn away from comic books in their drones, not because it's an old medium, but because the new comic book writers are just more interested in ideology than writing good stories with good guys and bad guys that will appeal to kids. There we go, that's Mr. Miracle #1 by Jack Kirby. I'll end the video here. Thanks for checking me out. I'll be back tomorrow. and I'll have some new comment reviews soon. So cheers, take care everyone, later.